So in this video, we'll be looking at how will we be compiling the APK and classes.txt file into a Java file so that we can view the source code of the APK that is written, and we'll be knowing what are the things that it can be done, and furthermore analysis. So let's get right into it. So here we'll be using a decompiler.com website in order to decompile the classes.txt file, and then we will it will just decode the text file into the Java classes, which can be seen using tools like jd-gui, jdx tools, and so on. So if you just download the zip file, and then we'll be ready to go. As I already downloaded the file, I'll be opening it in my terminal, and after this we just need to run jd-gui in order to open the file name, and navigate to file directory, open file, and then we'll be looking at this. So I placed this in my malware directory. So if you have placed it in your it will be in your downloads directory and sources, and I'll be select any of the files so that it can be viewed in the JD Java. So here always we need to look for, when we're doing an analysis, we need to look for a file that starts with com directory, because it is a package where our main activity class will be present. So why main activity is really important? Because for Android app, main activity is really the starting point for an application. For Android application, main activity is something like the main function in other programming languages like C and C, Python, and Golang, and so on. So what is a com directory? So com is .com example. This is a package name where if you wanted to create an Android app, it will ask you for a package name, and most of the time it will start with something like com.example. And your project name and so on. Here it starts with com.example.com. So most of the time, if you can't find a com directory, most of the time it would have at least an org directory, and something that starts with a 3-digit, with something like a 3-character name. Most of the time it will be, but most commonly it will be like com.example.com or org.something, some kind of organization name, and so on. So we need to look at the Android activity.main file and search for if you can't find it, just search for main activity main capital activity Java. Main capital activity. Yeah, we found out that main activity is present inside com example and some kind of name directory. Since most of the malwares will be completely obfuscated, there is no guarantee that you will get a proper name that can be pronounced easily, or that can be pronounced at least. So this is the best way to find the main activity if you can't find it. And so that's it. So let's get right into it. Okay, so main activity.java. So in main activity, if you look at this, we'll have main activity.2.java too. So what this does is, so it contains something called multiple things. It gets window access and all these things. I don't know what this is for, but if you look at the things, it gets Windows and color bar and decoder, and so set web client, and it catches say JavaScript enabled, zoom, support zoom. So it looks like it is checking if all these things are present on all the permissions are present inside. So load URL, so get resource cards, get strings, and all these things. So it looks like this is the URL that we've been looks like this is a command and control server to me. This is just with the help of e.load e.h, we'll be loading this URL. So I don't know what the e.h class is, so we'll look at it right now. So e.h file, we only have e.a, maybe h, e1, h, e2, e3. So package is e, so e.h file, e.h.java. So it's just creates a, what is it? It just get a setup function. Looks like just a setup function for this thing. So this is a URL that this is a command and control server where the what should I say? Where the messages are sent to the where all your details and messages are sent. So get resources, command get resources, and get string. So it converts all these things into string. So with the help of web view, we can connect to the connect in the host server. So this is where all the important malware type kind of things are happening. So as you know, it creates a JPEG file and then it just stores it in the external file pictures.file directory. So it does not look suspicious, as it is similar to how an app app takes. If you take a screenshot in an app, it saves in this kind of formats. Certain Android phones use this format so that it can able to differentiate between the screenshot apps, and here they are doing the similar kind of thing so that it doesn't look like a suspicious to us. So it looks like main.activity2 is really the main thing in our class, in our Android application. And if you look at the my receiver class will be for sure that it has access to broadcast receiver, shared preferences, telephony, SMS message, and base64 and char set 2. So what it really does is it gets your SMS message. Look, it's intent.length. It goes over your message list, and then gets all your messages, and then it gets sent. Get message.body, and then it iterate over and get stored in a list file. Look, it access intents or get message from intent and all these things. And yeah, look at this. SMS from SMS body, context SMS from SMS body, and then a splash screen. So it looks like this is it. Base64 encode all these data that's present inside the body function, and it gets all the SMS including the phone number of the receiver and the sender. It loops while is less than length, so I3 is 0, so 0 is less than the length, so that's it. It just moves on that way. So if you look at what is a proxy job intent service, so we will have a little idea on what this app really does, but looks like there's nothing more important here. It contains e.string file, something preference manager, so nothing interesting right here. Nothing interesting, so I think no, something a fishy thing here. So splash screen, it's just a splash screen. Yeah, this is really important, guys. This is how the message is sent to the C2 server. So we found a C2 server, right? So C2 server, and this is an SMS bot. I think we stopped taking that readme thing after this, so we will take some more notes here. And then we will take this thing, and base 64, it encrypts the content from the base 64, encrypts the file into a base 64 thing, and then it goes for splash screen.elk. So if you look at splash screen.l, so splash screen.l void s void u. It doesn't look like it contains any L thing. Class screen does not contain a class called L. That's weird. Because if everything is present, if the class must be present in order to be called, right? But it contains T, telephony, manager, C, and all these things. But it does not contain a class called L. Maybe it's just calling string L. Maybe right. Maybe it's just calling string L into the splash screen. Okay, so what is here is it gets all the information splash screen.b file. So if you look at the main folder, do we have any splash screen.b file on my receiver? Splash screen.b file, splash screen.l. So it's, I think that what A does is it just creates a string copy of placing that A4 content into the L string, and so on and so forth. And so proxy job intent is system proxy manager maybe. And what this thing is, this is really the fishy thing. It gets all your data and then it decodes all the information into a base 64 string and then sends it with the and it just makes it in the JSON format, and then it decodes all the JSON contents, and then on start it just sends all the things to the host server, and then look, it just says your message is sent. So this looks like a fake messaging app or some kind of an spyware that is that is really that mimics the messages like Android message, some kind of thing. I don't know who is going to download a message app from the internet. So look, it just posts all the information to that to the active server. So my activity 2 is really the importance. It's really the important. So if you look at what are the command and control server, here the command and control servers looks like this. So C2 server. So this is just an assumption. Guys. So assumption, because the dablogs.org is something just okay. Let's see if this really exists. So dablax.org. Look, it does not. https dablogs.org file. It's just loading. So I'm doing all these things in a secure environment, so there's nothing to worry about here. I'm using VPN and proxy chains and all these things. But the only thing that worries me is that it's not detected by the command and control server is not detected by any of the antivirus. It's not detected as malicious in any of the antivirus softwares. But here we found the command and control server. We found that what is the thing that it does, and then it converts all the into a JSON format. JSON thing, and it posts all the URL, posting to the URL. So where is the JSON thing? We'll put that in our README file so that it will be helpful for you in analyzing the things. Where is the JSON file? Telephony manager. JSON here. So JSON object splash screen, and you just copy the try block. So JSON, yeah, fine. So this is it, guys. We found the C2 server. We found all the things that is required for, that is needed for communication, and we know how this thing is really does. So first so we will create a mind map of how this thing really work. So first is it grabs all the SMS, and then it converts all the, then it creates a JSON format, and then it base 64 encodes the JSON object, and sends it to the host C2 server. So this is the mind map. That is this is how the, so as for our analysis, this is how the APK file works. And this, from this analysis, what we see is that it's an APK. It's not just an APK file, and this is something more complex that it is obfuscated very well, that it is not even some of the things are not even easy for the compiler, even a decompiler, to understand to decompile and understand all these things. So it creates a UUID and all this time thing. So UUID is used for generating a unique user ID. So with the help of unique user ID, it have the track of from whom these messages are coming from, and all these things. So if you look at the main file again, we'll be knowing that it will be using some kind of a cookie manager. Look, it's using some kind of cookie manager. So in cookie manager, what the cookie manager is, it creates an UUID so that it can have track of what the user is doing, and how the user or the messages that are coming from particular user. So all these things. So cookie manager, it just works like a similar way, but here they have used it for a really different purpose. So d2.a.a, and it gets all the for different numbers, it gets all this different things. So directory pictures and all this, yeah, fine. So if we look at the MD5 hash into that, so if you look at the MD5 hash and paste it into that virus total, we'll be looking at things. So looks like this thing has 25 detections so far, and this has been a popular way Trojan spyware. So as far our analysis, we seen that this is a spyware, and how this thing really works and all these things. But other thing is, I have out of 66 antivirus, it only 25 had detected this, and most of the big companies like Microsoft, Kaspersky, Google, and Avast Mobile, all these things, semantics, have detected this. That's really good because most of us use this kind of these antivirus. So especially Google detected it. So that's really an important note that we have to make. So because Google threat detection is really so good that it's something really important, so that many of the Android apps can be Android phones can be secure with this. So this is come under called Trojan, because it mimics a SMS kind of thing, but it sends all the details to that host server. And if you it just says it's a spyware. So Google is just detected, but it does not know what kind of spyware it is. And the Microsoft, if you look at the Microsoft thing, Microsoft has just said it's an Trojan. That's it, nothing more than that. If you look at the details, we'll be knowing what other things. So as we seen earlier, the receive permission, receive internet, receive SMS internet, and we've seen this name, main activity to splash screen, and main activity folder, and then intent action, send via SMS, then the deliver SMS delivered, SMS received, push string. All we have seen within the decompiler itself, and we created a mind map on how this thing really works. And so this is it, guys. This is really important, as most of the Android devices are not so secure. And if we just look at this details and all these things, and we created a mind map too, so that we can look at what is how this app really works and all these things. So this malware is something that is really unique, that it mimics an SMS app. Who knows, it may contains, if you look at the drawables thing, it looks like it may contain an file that is similar, an icon that is similar to the SMS file of an Android phone. And these are the really important things that we should keep in mind, that we should not allow all permissions to an Android app. And it is really important that you be sure that you install softwares from really trusted services, and not from any third-party apps like Telegram and all those things. Please don't install apps from Telegram and Discord. Most of the time it will be a malware, so be cautious about it. And thank you for watching. Stay secure and goodbye.